Capricorn, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for early April 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we can dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Capricorn collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide, spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Cappies in early April? Lovely time of year. What energies, messages, insights can we take a little peek at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Capricorn early April. What's the vibe? What's the energy? And I'm hoping everyone gets extra nice energy. It is my birthday week. I'm letting everyone know about it. But I'm trying to send out as much positivity as possible for everyone. Hey, ask and you shall receive, right? We have Lady Luck starting us off. Absolutely beautiful. Now, even if the reading itself has some bumps in the road, just the fact that we have Lady Luck is rare with this deck because she doesn't show up often. But it's all good. It's really good positive energy. Now, of course, there's downsides to everything. But before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the April subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk a little more in depth about this beautiful card. So we see this lovely lady here in the image, and she's holding cards. She has a little slot machine hitting a jackpot. We got a 4-leaf clover. We got gambling chips. So that's great. It reminds me of the Wheel of Fortune. So for some Capricorns, hey, maybe you'll get a nice stroke of good luck. Maybe you'll catch a lucky break of some kind. This is always really nice where it's like, okay, maybe some energy is really going to start working for you when this card is here. Now, the only downside I could say when it comes to Lady Luck is that it can be a little risky. There's nothing wrong with calculated risk. Sometimes it's important to take a leap. But when she shows up, watch the urges and watch like the risky behavior, because you might be a little more prone to do so whenever she shows up. But all in all, when I see her, it's like a 4-leaf clover, really beautiful energy, which I really like. So we're just going to put her down over here. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it, right? We'll take Lady Luck. We'll claim that. And as I already mentioned, even if like the reading itself is a little rough, we have Lady Luck on our side here. So we're just going to let her chill out. She could hang out while we get this going here with tarot. And yeah, I always say the first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for the Cappies. And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. So the vibe was extremely observant. The reading was titled They Are Watching. Now, again, maybe there was something Spirit wanted you to keep an eye on. Maybe there were certain things that you're monitoring. That could very much be the case. But I also saw like multiple layers and, potentially a lot of Capricorns catching some attention or being under the microscope. So just know that energy could bleed over for a couple weeks. But we're going to see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for Capricorn, early April. What do we got for our good friends? Okay. 5 of Cups, position number 1. Let's not say this tanks the reading, because it definitely doesn't. I usually like a nice action card in the beginning. But it's like, oh, we're riding high with Lady Luck. What is this 5 of Cups about? Okay, now again, it doesn't have to be worst case scenario, but it's worth our attention for sure. Let's get a couple more here. What do we got for Capricorn early April? Thank you. 10 of Wands. Yeah, what is this? All right. Yeah, I mean, this energy is just intense. I love the determination attached to it. Let's get one more. Let's get one more here for Capricorn. Thank you. Cool. Queen of Swords. This energy is very much about her business. So we got her right here on the back end. We're going to have to take a look here because the energy is a little strict in its ways. I'll say that. So again, we'll take that Lady Luck in the beginning and we'll put her in our back pocket, but there's some things we want to look at here. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements real quick because it frames the reading for us, tells us how the energy flows. Now, the good thing as far as elements go, there's a nice even mixture for the most part, right? We got water, we have fire, and we have air. So these could be different areas of life. I always say when there's too much of one element, it could be a little lopsided or a little extra heavy. But here on position number one, we have the water. Now, that's an energy you can get along with great. The element of water represents emotions, the internal realm, matters of the heart. It could be partnerships, interpersonal relationships, things that we're emotionally invested in, things that we care about. So even if it's not relationships, if it's something or a topic that we're very sentimental about it, water usually rules over that. It could also be creativity, thinking outside of the box, getting those creative juices flowing. I like that. Now, the downside to water is sometimes it could be a little too heavy. Sometimes it could be a little overwhelming. And water is like the tides, right? Where it ebbs and flows and back and forth. So there's something about it we want to keep an eye on. Moving to the center, we have fire. That's the realm of action. So the actions you take, the actions you want to take, actions other people take. When I see fire, I think of health, vitality, energy levels. So maybe you're feeling high, maybe you're feeling a little low, maybe a little in between, right? It's like a spectrum. Um, Aside from health and vitality, a big thing with fire is just your passion, drive, the spark within you. So I do like it. But the downside to fire, it could be a little unpredictable. It could be a little risky or explosive. So we'll keep an eye on it. And then here on the back end, we have the swords, which is kind of like the opposite of the water in the front. Whereas this is very emotional, matters of the heart. Swords are logical, pragmatic, very strategic, to the point. It's good for communication and conversation. When I see swords, or air rather, it's very good for taking in information, learning things. But the downside to air energy could be a little cold, a little detached, has a little edge to it. So it's a nice mixture, I guess, but let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, we are starting with the Five of Cups. Now, we did go in depth about the elements themselves, but we see our friend here all dressed in black, looking pretty goth, right? A little emo. And it's called the River of Tears for a reason, right? Now, I always say when it comes to these challenging cards, they're not always worst case scenario. It's not like the sky's falling here, Capricorn. This could be something very minor. Maybe you're feeling a little gloomy, a little glum. Maybe there's a couple days where you're just feeling a little off. That could be very possible when this card is here. But it can also swing the other direction in the spectrum where it could be intense. Maybe there's something that's really upsetting you. This could be depression, brokenheartedness. But there's a silver lining to this card. As with all the fives, it's not permanent, right? If we look at the symbolism here, there are still structures in the distance. The cups are still standing. So it's not like a total loss here. It's just a bump in the road, a rough patch. If it is a situation or a problem, it's like, okay, not permanent, which I think is really good. And it often shows up during times of transition. So we'll see what's going on with that. Now, moving over to the middle, we have an energy that does have an intensity connected to it. We have the Ten of Wands. Now, we see this image here of the person. They got a big old bundle of wands. Usually they're depicted going up a hill. The good aspect of the Ten of Wands is that it is very determined, where it's like when I decide to do something, I follow through with it. I do not quit. I keep going. I keep pushing, which is nice coming on the heels of this Five of Cups, where the Ten of Wands is like, nope, just moving forward. If I'm not moving forward, I'm moving backwards. So I love the push. I love the drive here. And from what I know about the beautiful Capricorns, most of the time, you're very motivated individuals. And this card could be that. But when we get to the downside of the Ten of Wands, it could just be very heavy. So whether it's mind, body, soul, like this energy is just, there's a weight to it. There's an intensity. So that's something we want to watch out for. With the intensity of this energy, something could get a little bit heavy. Watch your energy levels in this time, because like this with the Five of Cups, I could be feeling very tired. So that could be for a variety of different reasons. But I love the determination and push that's involved with it. And then if we're talking about physical health and wellness, watch out for areas like your neck, back, and spine. You might be holding extra tension there when this card shows up. Now, moving to the back end, as we get this Ten of Wands right back next to the five, we have the beautiful Queen of Swords, big air sign energy right here. So could be a Libra, uh, Gemini, Aquarius. Yes, it could be all of the above. Remember, it's not gender specific. But when I see the Queen of Swords, she represents the internal aspects of the suit. We already spoke about this. It's like very logical, planned out, strategic, straightforward, to the point. That's a big thing with the Queen of Swords. No BS. She's not playing games. She takes things very seriously. So I love the honesty involved with her. I love the intelligence involved with her. So if this is an energy that you're taking on in this time, that's usually a net positive for me. Now, the downside to the Queen of Swords, because again, every card has the up and down. Sometimes she can be a little mean, right? Sometimes she can be a little cold, right? Icebox where her heart used to be, type of stuff. But it doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. Sometimes she does show up when something serious is going on, or there's something that should be taken seriously. So we're going to put her down right there. And yeah, with this fire air combination, we're going to need to keep an eye on that. But I want to dive deeper on all the Capricorn. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on that Five of Cups. And yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages you want to give to Capricorn, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, why is the Five of Cups here, please? Why is the 5 here? Thank you. Cool. Knight of Cups. Now we're getting a lot of other people showing up here. Okay. I like that this knight is in the upright because it's moving forward and it's improving. Now, this can be a talk of some kind or a message, and there is a weight to it. That's one thing I do want to say. Now, there are certain times in life where the energy is great for us to deep dive and talk about serious things and talk about important topics. Sometimes not so much. So for some Capricorns, when I see the Five of Cups, Knight of Cups, it's like, okay, you have the bandwidth to discuss these types of things. So just know there could be a lot of serious talks or messages, conversations of importance going on when I see this combination. Now, for those of you that may have been recently going through a rough time or a rough situation, this is good because it's forward progress. So again, I like the action. That's the thing when it comes to the knights. They represent action, but they're also messengers. So either it is moving forward in a very positive way, we'll take it, or it is that topic of seriousness, importance, or depth. So now might be a good time to talk about these things. And again, this could be energy coming your way too. It doesn't necessarily have to be you. Sometimes we don't go seeking these things. They come to us. And that's very possible here. So we're just going to keep moving. I don't think we need to overcomplicate it. It is what it is. But we're going to get this Knight of Cups right back here. Yeah, the card's slip sliding around. Let's go in on that Ten of Wands. Let's see what the Ten of Wands has, please. Yeah, I mean, it's all right. It's all right with the water, but again, serious topics, especially with like the Queen of Swords here. I feel like I've seen something like similar a couple of weeks ago for you, where there was like a sternness. Let's see what's going on with this Ten of Wands, please. How do we got it? Okay, cool. Yeah. All right, revisiting things. It could be really big. So we have the Chariot in reverse underneath the Ten of Wands. There could be certain things or a situation that Spirit wants you to pace yourself with. So again, no pressure. Sometimes pressure is necessary, but it's like we have the want for action, we have the want for movement here in the front. But then the Ten of Wands, it's like restrictive. So again, watch out for things that might be a barrier to you, where it's like I'm pushing, but it doesn't feel like I'm making a lot of progress here. Again, from what I know about Capricorns, you're a cardinal earth sign, all about the action, all about the movement. So it's like I see the energy pushing, I see the energy moving forward, but it's like, why is it so heavy? That's the thing. Now, there is a lot of water here. When I see the Chariot, sometimes it's an energy that's zipping and going, right? It's the Cancer collective. So if you're connected to Cancer, this could be them. Usually it's here, there, and everywhere. It's either coming or going. It's really, really quick. So when I see it in reverse underneath the 10 wands, either there is a situation or a problem that's kind of sticky, that's like keeping me in place, or there's this energy where it's looping back around, where it's like, all right, let's touch on this again. So again, like similar to what we were seeing here in the front about that energy where topics of importance and stuff like that. When I see this, it's like, all right, let's circle back on this. Let's dig this back up. So there could be various things or situations popping back up or returning. Now could be a good time to put a second set of eyes on something, like revisit things. So that's interesting that that's showing up. So either it's an energy where it's like I'm pushing but not making a ton of progress, or feeling stuck potentially, or I'm revisiting something, I'm reanalyzing. So we're going to keep moving. We're going to go over to the Queen of Swords, see what she has to say. Well, let's do it. Let's get that Queen of Swords going. Then we'll do a quick recap before we get into the shadow. So why is the Queen of Swords here for Capricorn, please? Why is that Queen here? Thank you. Okay. All right, so we have Lady Justice in the upright. Big Libra vibes here, especially on the back end. Now, Lady Justice is usually very fair, judicious, balanced type of energy. I always say when she shows up, watch out for anything you're putting your signature on this time, any legalities, anything you're signing, read it, double read it, triple read it. Make sure you're reading the fine details. That's a big thing with the Queen of Swords, where it's like, I'm not going to act on this yet, but I'm going to put another set of eyes on it. I don't know why that keeps coming up this week. Similar to the middle, where it's like, I'm going to analyze this. I'm going to watch this. I'm going to look at it again. It's like proofreading or something. Like, if you write something and you want to get it published, you send it to an editor. This is like the editor type of energy where it's like, I'm going to look at the details. I'm going to analyze this. It's just very judicious. But again, anything contractual, anything legal, just be extra serious about it in this time. Now, Lady Justice in the upright is really good. She is a big karmic card as well. So again, there could be certain aspects of divine timing connected to whatever situations you're going through. And I know that's a big net we just cast there, but sometimes certain things happen at certain times to, cause certain changes and actions to happen. Queen of Swords, Lady Justice in the upright. I'm taking something seriously. I'm doing it the right way. And I'm not jumping to conclusions and I'm not jumping into action. There is a caution here that I do like. So overall, we're looking pretty good for the most part. Like there's not a lot of like craziness happening, but there's a lot of caution and a lot of judiciousness for some reason. I don't know why I'm saying it like that, but that's just what's showing up to me. There's a sternness in the undertone of the energy of this week. So again, that could be advice for some of you, or that just might be the vibe of somebody else. But let's go through and do a quick recap, then we'll get into the shadow. So we have an interesting thing here around communication, conversation. But if we kindly look in the box here, we have the Five of Cups with the Knight of Cups in the upright. This could be good. This could be a rough thing, rough situation, getting better and improving. Slowly but surely, we have action where it's like, okay, now we're moving. Now we're starting to see a little bit of progress. That's really nice. But this also tells me the vibe might be primed to speak about important or serious things. So again, whether it's serious topics, in-depth things, heavy topics, that's a big thing with what I'm seeing here. So whether it's someone that brings it to you or you bring it to them, we're diving deep here. This isn't just like surface level, how's the weather stuff. It's like we're digging deep. Moving to the middle, we have the Ten of Wands with the Chariot in reverse. An energy that's pushing forward, but it's meeting resistance. So again, watch out for like problems or situations where it feels like you're not moving how you'd like to, where there's like a locked in, stuck type of energy. But it never stays that way in life. There's also this energy here of something popping back up, returning, or needing to put a second set of eyes on it. That's what I'm seeing here. It's like, I need to look at this again. I need to revisit this. I need to reanalyze it. So do with that what you will. Even moving to the back end, we have the Queen of Swords with Lady Justice in the upright. Big with fair and balance, and it's judicious, as I already mentioned. But there could be various things where Spirit's like, just keep your eye on it. Pay attention to it, just like we saw last week. Revisit this, like read it, double read it, triple read it, and make adjustments as necessary. And then, yeah, with the conversation and talk of like importance or seriousness, it's here. It's not being wild. There is a cautiousness to the energy. So that could be advice from Spirit too. Like, just be cautious here. Get all the information first before moving forward. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into that further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay. And yeah, I always like to pull a shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And yeah, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel. I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get this going here. What do we got for Capricorn? Thank you. Cool. The Emperor, interesting since we are in Aries season. So we have a lot of cards of other people showing up here. So one thing I will say, especially if you're one of the more sensitive Capricorns, just protect your energy. But what do we think of with the Emperor aside from Aries? It could represent authority figures. Remember, the Emperor is the king of kings, calls the shots. What this Emperor says goes. So watch out with your relationship to people in positions of authority and how they wield it, because sometimes this energy could be a little too controlling. Now again, I'm not saying that's what you're being. It could absolutely be somebody else. I like the Emperor because it says, you know what, no matter what happens, I have a say. I do believe that certain times in life there are certain things that are out of our hands, but the Emperor is not really that kind of energy. It's like, no, what I say goes. So it's very headstrong, which for some of you could be a very good thing, but others just watch out for anyone that's too controlling or bossy. There's an energy here of like just observing first, especially with what we saw here in the main part. So we're going to leave it at that, Capricorn. That's what I have for you this week. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the April subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation or you'd like to have a chat with me, you can book a personal session with me at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the April subscriber surprise, we're doing a nice winner's choice once again. At the end of the month, I will choose 3 lucky subscribers to either win their choice of the Gilded Tarot Royale or one of the custom made crystal pendants from my website, mastermetaphysics.com. So, winner's choice. And if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things, as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, you can let me know down in the comments, how much do you know about the meanings of tarot cards? Are you an expert reader? Are you a beginner, intermediate? Do you know a lot? Do you know a little? You'll be entered to win. And at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in my posts tab. YouTube changed it. And yeah, that's where it'll be, my friends. Much love, and I'll talk to you soon.